Welcome to the Bang the Drum podcast, the Oh My Bengals training camp edition. We're here on this rainy Thursday. Another miserable day. Looks like fall, feels like fall. Bleepity bleep bleep. So tired of the daily rains. But here we are. We in Africa. I don't think we are. We bless the rains. Down in Africa, Stevie Z, welcome.
Welcome, Scotty D. How are you, my man?
I am doing decent. This weather kind of kills me, but what are you going to do? Good day earlier today. It was pretty nice.
On and off.
So, a lot of drama, a lot of stuff to talk about. It wasn't that long we were here. We're going to get through these training camp editions. We already finished QB1. What's going on with you, Steve Z? Anything new in the last couple days?
Took my dog to the vet for the first time today.
How'd that go, my brother?
It went well. He was a good little boy.
He was.
He didn't cry, didn't whimper, got a shot, didn't cry. No, he did really good.
No reactions or anything? That's
nothing. He just laid there.
Yeah.
Like, huh.
Milo does good with it, but he was pretty, he's little by his standards, right? He's still a fat boy back then, but he was there and he'd be all calm and he'd sit there and all of a sudden he'd see a dog and he'd go, woof! And everybody would jump. Everybody in that place is packed, right? So, he's good on that. So that's good to hear. It's good experience. Good experience for you. Ye who dogged me of getting a dog, and now you're all in. Are you all in?
All in, yeah.
Tell him her name.
Yeah. His name's Lenny. He's a cockapoo. Cute little dog. Doesn't get super big, but yet he gets big enough. So it's been fun so far. Try to get that potty train stuff down.
Yep. That's a big deal. When you get that done and you can get him crate trained and everything else, it's pretty good. But there's still a headache chewing on everything. But the weird thing is you got a cockapoo. That's kind of like one of the nicknames I've had for you for years. Very similar. Russell's called you that and worse. Fair?
Not fair.
Not fair? Has he called you that and worse, though?
We haven't been on here 5 freaking minutes.
2 minutes, exactly. You brought it up.
I didn't bring it up.
You set up the
my
spike.
dog. It's my puppy.
I like Lenny. Lenny's a good boy. He's a good boy. So we were going to start out the podcast with Gary Burbank's Oh My Bengals, which was hilarious. We've referenced it before. The drama is back, full throttle. We're going to cover that today. It's nauseating. We're going to cover Shemar. We're going to cover Trey. We're going to cover the Bengals Ring of Honor. We're going to get to the vaunted NFC South, AFC South. Always the two weakest divisions in all football here in the South. Move the Bengals to the South. That's what they should have done. They should have petitioned that. We'll stay in Cincinnati if we get to move.
Could you imagine?
You'd whitewash it every year.
7 years of division championship.
Domination. So we'll talk about the Cincinnati Redlegs. We didn't get to them last time. We knew we'd be back together, so they're it's not really the halfway point. Certainly not. They start so early anymore. But it is the All-Star break. Talk about some of the things that Marty and Tracy said. I'll run it by you. We'll talk Redlegs and what we got upcoming, and then that'll be it for today. So we like going through over these divisions. There's some opponents in there for the Bengals, certainly, and talk about what that looks like. And, for you gamblers out there, wink, wink, all for fun, entertainment. The odds are always decent. I always like digging into the odds, seeing what you're at, what you're going to do, where you're going to bet. So YouTube, we're up to, 2,500, so we'll be having a 3K edition here before too long. Some of the recent videos, kind of cool stuff on there, some of the baseball stuff. So to each their own. Everybody's got a different opinion on this. But I saw some people, I don't watch the All-Star game anymore. It used to be I wouldn't miss it. That tells you a lot. Still like baseball, but it's all just like every other sport, shenanigans, antics, and stuff like that. I saw somebody post about like how the intros, I didn't see them, but this changed a long time ago. I think even Jim Nantz, who we probably both, I respect Jim Nantz. I'm not a big fan, but I respect him. But he would start doing like the Final Four. He would announce the players. Come on, man. Like it used to be, you'd have like the Reds 1988 All-Star Game. Post a few videos from it. It's the PA announcer that you're used to hearing. At catcher, batting seventh, Gary from the New York Mets. Gary Carter. And that's how you want it, right? And the irony
that's
is,
how I remember.
Yeah, it's how it should be. It's professional. And now you don't have to. The sideshow becomes bigger than the show. I heard somebody say that. Howard Cosell said that, which he was a sideshow. But it's just weird how that's all changed. So those videos are up. Eric Davis will be up. I'm posting some of him tonight, Thursday night. Just a single, but it's cool to see his batting. Wrigley Field, New York, Strawberry Homer. Got some Bengals videos to post up. So most of it will be Bengals, as you know. But if you're a sports fan, there's some cool stuff on there. Some old wrestling stuff I forgot I had. I bet I've got, just so you know, I've got thousands of VHS tapes. Those are a little trickier because I got them on. I don't have a VCR hooked up to this old TV, right? It's not real fun, so I need to convert them to DVD, which I've done a bunch of them. Then I've got DVDs everywhere. So I've got ICW Wrestling, which was here in Lexington, close to here. It was aired on our local TV. Remember the V8, or was it UHF, I guess, channel. It was either 27 or 36, bring some of you guys back. So a lot of those I have. I bought them off somebody ages ago. I don't even remember who. So you got a young Macho Man. His voice sounds a little bit like Leap and Lanny. Oh boy. Sorry to get your toy up there.
Excuse me.
So you don't hear the oh yeah. It's more like oh yeah. It's like it's fun to see. So that kind of stuff will be up there as well. So turn on notifications so you don't miss them. The weird thing is we're getting a lot of views. Like the Davis one, like the Dwight Gooden. I just posted Dwight Gooden warming up before the '88 All-Star game in Cincinnati. 4,000 or 5,000 views is bam. But 98% of our views are not by our subscribers. So subscribers, turn that notifications on. Help us out. We want you to watch it more than non-subscribers. So that's where we're at on YouTube. So listen to us again on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Apple's our leading one, by the way, on the podcast. Everywhere. Like, share, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. Spread the word. Get even bigger as we got some cool stuff upcoming once the season starts, especially. Training camp as well. We'll know more on that Monday. We'll know more on that Monday, which is great. Before we get into a bad mood, which we will here shortly, that's staying in a good mood. Well, maybe not. Talk about the Who Days for the beer. I'm smoking just a normal cigar here, the Perdomo 20th anniversary, which is my favorite. I'll get a variety soon, but show what you're drinking there, Steve Boy.
West Side Brewing Company, Summer Golding Ale. A little different from the stuff I drink. I'm going to give it a 3 Who Days. 3 Who Days.
3 out of 5
for me.
That's low, right?
It's high for me.
What do you mean? It's a high rating?
High rating because I thought this would be like a 1.
You don't like it, or you do like it?
It's bearable.
Bearable, okay.
Yes,
I give it like a 4. It's a good summer drinking beer. So what you noticed on the beer front, I've been buying stuff. We'll go through one more that I've tasted for sure. And then we'll start doing, just buy some random stuff. And then I hate IPAs. So maybe we'll do one of them and just see how bad it is. A popular one and waste some money. You need to start shipping on the beer front.
And if
we talked about last time.
If you want to Venmo us money for Who Days, check us out. Send us money. We'll drink it in your name.
That's a good idea. Like, Venmo us. I'll maybe we can post it on here. You can do that, probably. We can do it.
Yeah.
Post it on here, like underneath this part right here. We'll put our Venmos up. Maybe we'll try to, and then you can send us. You don't send a whole, just $10, whatever, and
$2.
Whatever, doesn't matter. And the beer you want us to drink, don't be mean.
Don't be mean.
Don't be mean. Just something you like us to try on the air, and we'll do that. So,
and then we'll give you a shout out for supplying the Who Day.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea. We'll do that going forward. So, and again, try not to be mean. So here we go. I'll give it a 4. By the way. All my Bengals. A lot of talk about Shemar. And this, he probably did leak it, so his camp did. So he's working out at TAMU, Texas A&M. The thing is, they're making a big deal out of that. Players do this a lot.
They do it all the time.
I don't know why I know why, because he's the only rookie first-rounder that's not signed.
And just not signed, not playing.
Not doing anything.
He's the only one that didn't play.
And the whole talk,
signed a waiver.
Then this story came up about him potentially going back to TAMU, which if you remember, this kind of drama's happened before, and a little bit of reverse with Maurice Clarett at Ohio State, right? He was going to leave. He got some people in his camp and all that stuff in his ear. These young guys, man, they get some guys. The thing is, everybody and their brother wants a piece of them when they're good, right? They want their name associated with and money and all that kind of stuff. But the difference, you compare it to old holdouts, like he's not. You could easily say, and I could easily say, pound this table, not going through this table's a little shaky, and say he's not going back. They can't, and that's true. But the way college football is right now, and the way the legal systems went with all this kind of stuff, the only thing, the saving grace there is, even if he would win something like that, I think it would take so long to play out. They would file.
It wouldn't be done quick.
He wouldn't be playing. I don't think you have to worry about that. But the weird thing is that when I was a kid, and later than that, you would see holdouts pretty regularly. But then it wasn't the salaries were not fixed. He knows what he's making.
Yeah.
So it all comes down. There's a story here, and I'm going to cite some stuff on here in a second. So he knows what he's making. All that. That's not the issue. What are your takes on the latest developments, if it even is a development on Shemar and how that looks?
All right, here we go. So first of all, it would be the worst mistake that he would ever make.
He's going to have to sit out a year.
Yeah, one, if he's getting this information from his camp, his side, however you want to say it, if he's getting advice from these guys that are telling him this is what he is to do, his people, it is atrocious how bad this information is given to him. This is the worst thing, because for one, even if this did happen, he played this year. Let's say he comes back and he gets 4.5 sacks, which is what he totaled for the whole year, which his whole career. Sorry. So let's say he comes back and gets 4.5 to 6. He was a 17th-round pick, fully guaranteed. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How are you? So, and then all these teams. There's 20 teams in the NFL right now that has this same clause that they use. Which one of them 20 teams is going to want to draft him next year, knowing this same damn clause that the Bengals are trying to set a precedent because he's the first one? They're basically just trying to do what the rest of the league is doing. Okay, 60% of the rest of the league is doing. How is that going to go? It's not going to happen. These teams aren't. They're not going to mess with him. They're not going to risk a 12th to 17th, maybe worse than that. He may not get drafted in the first freaking round. Then you ain't even guaranteed, which is why a lot of these second-round picks ain't been signed, because their money's not guaranteed. And I guess the Texans come up with, on their second-round pick, guaranteed money, so now everyone else wants guaranteed money in the second round. That's why Demetrius Knight is not signed yet either, that nobody is talking about.
Yeah.
So something's going to have to be done. Like, someone's going to have to just bend and break, because I'm telling you right now, this is the worst mistake that he could do for his career, because I can't see it getting better for him next year at freaking all.
No, he's not. It's different if you're Bo Jackson, who threatened to do it because he didn't want to go to Tampa, or Elway, or Manning, Eli. Those guys who knew they'd come back that next year and be top 5 picks. But what they didn't have was the money leverage. John Breach, Jim Breach's son, former kicker of the Cincinnati Bengals, has a nice piece on CBSSports.com talking about it, and he's absolutely right. Players today have more leverage because they have money, because all the nonsense that's going on in college football. Thank you, Jay Billis and you ESPN big mouth idiots that caused all this, right? They're the cause of it. I don't bounce back off that at all. So my name, image, and likeness, yeah, that's not what you're getting paid for. You're getting paid to come to this school. You're not getting paid by some marketer to. That's not. I knew it would be this way. Billis and those idiots caused it all. So he's got a little bit of leverage, but he doesn't have NFL money leverage. So he'd be signed a 4-year, $18.94 million rookie contract, fully guaranteed, with the Bengals all the way through until they quote unquote snuck this language in. And if it really happened that way, it is a little shady. It's both their issues, I think. If I was the Bengals, I wouldn't care about the language. You draft him, you believe in him. I assume you did your homework. Bring his ass in. Most of them are guaranteed anyway. Get his ass in to play. Yep. But it's a bad look for him as well.
It is. It is. I'm sitting in a couple of our live show there before our walkthrough of the locker room and stuff down there on Family Day and stuff. I'm so sick of hearing about I don't know why we just can't talk football and talk about how the team's going to be, and knowing that this team that we think is going to be on the field, we can actually talk about that. Like, we can't really talk about it because, for one, me and you both think they will be. I'll tell you what, brother, it's Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think they was it start Wednesday?
Yeah, rookies do. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, you got less than a week to get this deal done, and if he misses any time, I hate to say it, man.
It's going to set him back.
It's going to set him back. It's going to set him. I don't care if he has been in the quote unquote room. I don't care. It's going to set him back because they're going to look at it like, do you want to be here or not?
Yep. And the tough part of it is, so we couple in Trey here. Like, we're talking about Trey. He's posting some stuff. Not a big deal. He's just posting his highlights and all his sacks, and people are saying that's not a big deal to me. But he's doing. There's a purpose behind that. That's not I'm going to post. He's doing it on purpose. Which, whatever, that's fine. He can do what he wants. But it's to so all these eyes are on it, and somebody asked Burrow about it, and he said, "Yeah, it's a distraction." There's the truth. They can say what they want to. It's not a distraction. It was a distraction last year with Jamar.
Absolutely.
So here's the deal: you're the Cincinnati Bengals. Do you want to win a bleeping championship? I'm going to try to keep it clean this year, or do you not? Are you here to win a championship or win an argument?
Yep.
And Shemar's people, his dad or whoever said it feels like they want to win an argument, and I agree with them.
I agree with that
100%.
too. They always do.
They do. That's what they dig their heels in. How about digging your heels in to try to win a bleeping championship instead of Kansas City and all these other teams and fall 9-8? Quit the drama. Quit the sign people. Free agency at the trade deadline. If you need to do something, do it. Get your players in on time. Could have signed T and Chase. So I think the players look a little bit bad, certainly, but you're trying to win a fucking championship.
Yep.
Let's go do it.
Yep.
Quit bickering over a little bit. The money doesn't matter anyway. Quit bickering over it. Let's go win a championship. And at the end of the day, I posted a video of Joe Burrow on the podium with Reese Davis, and he looks a lot different. He's being interviewed after winning the championship at LSU. Right, the whole team's there. This feels great. All that rah rah. That's what we want. And if you're Katie, Duke Tobin, Mike Brown, that vision of him on the podium with the trophy, the Lombardi Trophy, should be goal number one.
Number one.
Anything that gets in the way of that, you take care of it.
Yep.
They don't. They haven't historically, and they're not right now, and that's a problem. Do you agree?
100%.
Let's go win a fucking championship. Let's quit the bickering. Let's quit the whining. Operate like a high-level, elite organization. Take care of stuff. Go win a championship.
So I seen a comment the other day when I was going through X, and it said, are they actually going to roll over $27 million in cap? And it got me thinking. I'm like, okay, you're getting ready to enter training camp. There's no one out there to go get that you're going to spend any money on.
You need $5 to $10 million in case something happens.
Right. You're going to pay your rookies. But even after all your rookies and all that, I mean, they're still like $24 million. I mean, and they can roll all that over. I wasn't 100% sure of that, but yes, they can roll 100% of whatever they have left over, as long as they spend up to like 75% of the cap or some shit like that. But either way, when you think of Trey,
analytical.
when you think of Trey, 16.5, $17 million, they're going to pay you anyway.
Pay his ass.
What's another? Just paying the extra 13, get him to 30.
Yep.
I think the 30 million mark, I think it'll do it. I really do. I think it'll do it. I think it's the years. I think he wants stability.
Sure.
Just give him a war year. Sign him for 2 years and do like baseball does, was an option for a third.
Yep.
In football, it's a void year.
Yep.
So if that void year comes up, you take it or you don't, you avoid it, and then you let him go. Well, I mean, in my case, what's the defensive ends market going to be in 3 years?
Absolute right.
You know what I mean?
Same
if
thing
you're
to
paying
Burnham.
$30 million in 3 years, that's probably a damn steal, dude.
Same thing they burn on the wide receivers. I mean, they're all overpaid. We understand that, but it's not our money. Who cares? I don't care about any of that. I care. Like we had this discussion before free agency, right? When we start.
Yep.
By the way, we're at our 4-month anniversary for YouTube channel anyway. So I assume it's this. So
I'm holding up a 4 for 4 months.
4 Horsemen. Got something on that. 4 Horsemen. That's a secret. Something that's going to happen in October. 4. It's a big deal, dude. Wait till you hear about it. Got to keep it secret for now. But leading the league, I said it then. Leading the league in salary cap. Who gives a? That's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. Spend
up to it till you're right. Don't bury yourself years forward, but be smart. Like having all that flexibility and all that money, if you never use, they're kicking the can down the road. That's what I said about the Reds for year after year. Oh, but look at this guy in Double A they traded for. This guy in Triple A. So, what good does that do you? You're trying to win. And how's that gone for the Reds? I think back to a quote I've used before when Jordan said, "I don't want to be here for a rebuild," and he started laughing. And he goes, Cubs been rebuilding since, 19, whatever he said, 30. And he's right. Like, go win it when you can win it. And it doesn't always work, but the Niners have come close. Kansas City goes after it. Buffalo will go after it. Go do it. And I don't think they will. That's the part that gets me more than anything.
And they have the money to go do it. They've had the money to go do it. They haven't done it. And it goes back to what you're saying. If you want to go win it, show the fans, show the city, show Ohio, show Southern Ohio, show Northern Kentucky, all these people that are paying thousands of dollars for season tickets. Like, just show us that with this window that we have with Joe. Because let's be honest. I think the window is Joe's career. But if you go 10 years from now and he's in his upper 30s, his window's closing. I don't care who you are.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So right now, with this next 5, 6, 7 years, is the window. You've got Shemar, you've got T, you got all these. You still got Orlando Brown, you got Mims. Like, you've got these guys, this core. You know, you got Gesicki for 3 more years. You know, Yoshi is still fairly young. You know what I mean? And still super athletic. You got Chase Brown. You got all these weapons.
Yep.
And you want to pinch freaking pennies over guards. Over freaking guards, which has been the reason you haven't been a freaking Super Bowl champion in 2 years in a row, is because of your guard play. But you keep pinching pennies on I don't
understand it.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. And it comes back to the conversation that started all this is with Shemar and Trey and getting these guys signed, get them into camp, get them used to being around their teammates, get Shemar used to that defensive line, get him used to being on the field, let him get used to being hit. It's time to get this shit done and get him on the damn football field.
Yep. And, you know, like, it festers through the locker room and everything else when they look. It might motivate them to go against, like, upper management, like they did with the Bulls, honestly, with Krause, and it's happened with other organizations, right?
Where's that get you, though?
It doesn't. Like, you got to, like, the thing is, like...
Burns fucking bridges is what it does.
I think it does, too. There's a quote by, I don't remember who said it. I hate to do this because I think it was Tobin, but I'll be loose on that because this may not be exactly him or right, but it was something to the effect that we want to hang around and then kick the door open at some point or something like that. We want to hang around and walk through the door at some point. That's what he said. And one of those guys said, I think it was him, 2 years ago. And I said, I said it then, I think you and I might have disagreed.
It's the best way to make money.
That's not what you do. You're not trying to say, hey, we want to be a 10-11 win team for 10, 12 years and never win it. Maybe we luck into one. No. Go win the damn thing, right?
Yep. Then the free agents and all that's going to come anyway.
You look at the Rams, like, they've been around and hung around. They had one down year. They traded everything. And Stafford's no Joe Burrow.
And then 2 years later, they're back in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. It's not that, like, if you get the quarterback, which they had, he's better than Stafford. At that point, he's better than Stafford at any point in his career, let alone at that point.
Yep.
You're around there. Put the people around him. Let's go win the games. And the guard position is probably the good mention on your part. That's probably a bigger indicator of that quest and thirst for a championship more than what we're seeing with Trey and Shemar, right?
Yeah,
It's just
for sure.
Mind-boggling. So, enough of that. We got on a roll there. So it's very frustrating. But Bengals Ring of Honor, Dave Lapham, excellent. Lamar Parrish, excellent. Talk about your thoughts on Lapp and Parrish, and I'll do the same.
Grew up listening to Lapp. I remember a little story working at Clyde's in Aberdeen, just starting out, young kid, 18, 19 years old, bagging, night manager, assistant manager. I kind of moved myself up there, but I always had to work weekends, right? Mm-hmm. It was one of them times where I was still a huge Bengals fan. The team wasn't very good. They had Corey, but to listen to Lapp all them Sundays, right? Going back and listening to all of his highlights. Like, that was one thing, like, after the game. I wanted to hear his highlights and how he talked about the players and what he thought. Like, and this was 20 years in, his freaking broadcasting.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's 40 years this year.
Is it really?
It's 40 years and 50 years in the organization. And it's, it was the right time. I think he was the guy. It's not like he's a young pup either.
No,
you never know. I mean, he's in his mid-70s, so, I mean, it was the right time.
Is he that old? Jeez.
Yeah.
He doesn't look it. We saw him. We met him.
He don't. His rookie year, 71, 72, I think.
He's 73.
Yeah. Just an outstanding ambassador for Cincinnati Bengals football. Always has been. Class act. Me and you seen him once. Really didn't get to talk to him. We was standing in line. Was at a Reds game, but he walked by. I mean, he said hi. Very friendly. From what I hear, I mean, he was an excellent football player. All we've got videos to watch. Mm-hmm. I mean, he retired in '83. Then he went to the USFL and played for 2 years for Jersey. Played for Trump's team. made more money playing for Trump than he did in the NFL.
Yeah, back
and
then,
the USL.
USFL, they made
the USFL, they made big money in the USFL. But anyways, super great guy. Lamar, I mean, he's one of these guys at my age. You have to really kind of search for some of the highlights of him because it was Ken Riley, it was Ken Anderson.
Yeah.
You know, it was those. You know what I mean? It was those guys. Those were the main guys. So, but you can find him. You know, you can go on YouTube
grab a
and
beer,
find
keep
him.
talking.
But he was that cornerback group of him and Riley were a special group, and it's fitting that he gets in not too long after Riley, and now Riley's in the Hall of Fame. Parrish, he deserves to be in there too. Don't get me into the Bengals Hall of Fame thing because that'll be a totally different rant, but. Good. It's going to be a good year. I think. Hopefully, Trumpy gets in next year.
Yeah, I kind of like Stallion got in.
Yeah, I'm fine with these two. Hopefully, Trumpy can keep her going. Have a good year this year, and then come back next year, and we can vote him in next year. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, it's what game are they doing this in? Is it the?
Is it the Jacksonville?
I don't think so. I think it's later. That's all right.
Yeah.
You look at Lapham on the field. He played 10 years, right?
Yep.
So 10 years. Started various games. Very good offensive line at different times there when he played. He was on the 81 team. Started 10 games. Super Bowl. And then Parrish. I'll go over a couple of his stats there. He was he had 47 career interceptions, right?
Yeah.
They had more interceptions back then.
I think Raleigh had 65, 66, and then Parrish had 47.
And then,
unreal backfield.
Punt returns. For his career, he averaged, I think, 9.2. But there was 1 year where he averaged 18.8.
Unreal.
Punt returns,
not kickoff return. Punt return.
He had 2 touchdowns. He had 4 career touchdowns. Kickoff returns, 24.7. Those days are gone, obviously, with all the crazy rules now, but had a touchdown there. So he was a big-time player. Good to see him in there. He's what is he? 77 years old. Lives in I don't know where he lives. He was played at Lincoln, which you've never heard of, right? There's all these obscure schools. I heard one the other day. A guy said, I can't remember. Dave Craig. I have to look it up now, but Dave Craig on there right through a few passes, and he was. I might have to look up where he played college ball. I usually remember this stuff like the back of my hand. He played at Milton, and the guy goes, "You won't see another person from Milton because the college no longer exists." That's cool. So you got an NFL player from Milton. So congratulations, those two. That'll be really neat. Be cool to see them. Little issues there, but we're good, I think. So yeah, that Bengals Ring of Honor. We'll step over to the NFC South. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
I like doing this kind of stuff. Pure football. We're going to start with guy we saw a lot of here in QB1, Kirk Cousins' team, the Atlanta Falcons. They had a strange year. They finished 8-9, 13th in the league in points per, 23rd. So they made some big changes, lost their center, which I think is really going to hurt them. But down the stretch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they went 2-6 down the stretch to finish 8-9. As we mentioned last episode, Cousins was hurt. But you got Darnell Mooney's a good player. Drake London is a big-time player. Ray McLeod played good for him at times.
He did.
The tight end, I think he's under – I kind of wanted the Bengals to get him in the trade when his name was out there, Kyle Pitts. Big-time player, potential-wise. He just hadn't filled in. Again, losing that center I think is going to hurt him. Still a solid offensive line. Penix, can he do it? Can he not do it? They picked him 8th. I think it was 8th, right? Big-time draft pick to take a guy that high. I think he's got a lot of potential. He's a likable guy. Played at Indiana. For those of you who don't know, probably remember him from UW, but he played at Indiana. Lit up Ohio State 1 year. Very athletic. You hear a lot of people question his athleticism. He's had 2 ACL tears, but he's still athletic. You look at his high school basketball tapes. Oh my gosh, that dude was bouncy. And then one of the best running backs in the league for sure. Bijan Robinson is off the charts.
Yep.
Defense, they added solid Morgan Fox. They went for it in the early rounds there with the draft picks, right? They traded up to get 2 draft picks, Jalen Walker and James Pierce. Both those guys, Pierce is one-dimensional, but it's a good one dimension to have as a pass rusher. Walker's kind of that hybrid guy, very, very athletic. I love Xavier Watts, free safety out of Notre Dame, and they took my sleeper guy, Billy Bowman Jr., nickel type safety to come in. So this team might be pretty good this year. I could see them winning the division, quite frankly. Last year 8-9. I think they improve on that, make the playoffs, whether they win the division or not. I see them as a 10 or 11 win team, a lot on Penix's shoulders. What are your thoughts on the Atlanta Falcons?
Yeah, I think that defense is going to be a lot better.
Yeah,
and then really they're loaded on offense. Pretty much like I said the other day about some of the East teams. It's all going to come back to quarterback play. You know what I mean? And that's really what killed them down the stretch last year. Just didn't get very good quarterback play. Cousins was hurt. Penix played good at times, but not great. I mean, he's athletic, got a good arm, good college quarterback. But I can see the defense being better, but we'll see how it goes.
How many wins you got them going at?
With that division, they can win that division 9-10 wins.
Yeah. I think Tampa will be solid. We'll get to that in a second. But as you look about it, lots on his shoulders. But again, kind of a weaker division, to say the least. And then we'll transition over. I think they got a shot at making some headway there. The Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young took a big stretch there down the end. They made a big deal out of it. I mean, rightfully so, given how he played the year before. I could see him. I don't know. I wasn't overly impressed with him. I thought a lot of them were, I hate the term, but system throws were just a lot of rollouts, guys wide open. They drafted the big receiver from Arizona. I think he's going to be a good player, McMillan. I like him. Jimmy Horn Jr., Colorado.
Yeah.
Xavier Legette, I think that dude's a player. My thoughts
player.
on him coming out in 24. As Thielen still hanging around. Trimble is a solid player. Jatavion Sanders from Texas, 2 drafts ago, has got a shot. Yep. Our boy, red-haired friend Andy Dalton still there as backup. Chuba Hubbard's a big-time back. So they're offensively, I still question the quarterback there, but defensively they made wholesale changes. Free agency, drafted ransom from the Ohio State University linebacker Scorton. I think Carolina. I think they've made strides, but at some point they're going to hit that wall or that ceiling. Like, what is that ceiling, and where can you go, given the quarterback play? Right, that's the trick of it. Like, you get better all around. Can he lead it? I think he's got a shot at being okay. My thoughts. I would have never taken him first overall. I said it then. Don't back off that now. Last year they were 5-12, 23rd in the league at points per game at 20, and 32nd on defense. Right, they're definitely better on defense. 5-6 win team. I think they improved maybe a little bit, maybe just 6-7 wins, but we'll see. I mean, it's all going to come down to the quarterback. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 6 or 7 wins sound like a broken record, but yeah, it's going to come down to quarterback play. Defense should be better. I was really surprised with how they did in free agency, to be honest with you. But I guess money talks. I guess you wouldn't think that many people would want to go to Carolina, but I mean, good weather. But you still got. I call him a young quarterback. He really isn't now, but it really hasn't shown a ton. Can still maybe be injury prone. You're really not sure.
He's
small guy, short. Like you said, they do some gimmick stuff. They roll him out. They bootleg. They do naked bootlegs. Like that can get him hurt too. Holding on the ball when you're out there with no help on some of them nakeds, they can get you hurt. So I'm right there with you. Probably 5-7 wins is maybe actually pushing it a little bit. But if the defense can keep them in, maybe if they play better at home. Because actually early on against the Bengals last year, they played pretty well at home against them. Yep. So they play better at home. Be 500 at home, win a couple more on the road. Yeah, I mean, there's 6-7 wins.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to him. If they're right on him, though, they're going to be better than that. If they're what I think they are on him, they're going to be right where they were. So we'll see. The New Orleans Saints, once a proud franchise, they might pull out the brown bags, the Aints on their hat again.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore bounced around as offense coordinator, hot name off and on Brandon Staley, who was one of my most disliked head coaches that I had no stake in it at all when he was in Chargers, because he just did the dumbest analytics stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he was the worst I'd ever seen. Take it to a different level.
Yeah. Mickey Loomis has done a good job, in terms of GM. So they still got Olave. He's been hurt a lot. They signed Cooks. He can be. Yeah. Kelvin Banks was their top pick. I don't I couldn't disagree more with their quarterback pick, Tyler Shaw. I don't understand that one. I honestly think Spencer Rattler's better than him. We'll see how that works out. Running back Kamara's getting up there. Tight end, just kind of a blah offense. I don't know, Taysom Hill, they do the same old stuff. Moore's gonna, he'll do some razzle dazzle, but I just don't really see their offense doing much.
I don't either.
On defense, I like Danny Stutzman a lot, the linebacker they drafted. I think he'll play for him right away. You got the old guys on there. Chase Young's there from last year. Pete Werner from the Ohio State University. DeMario Davis, who's carved out a nice niche there after bouncing around. Kool-Aid, they signed Justin Reed. Kansas City, Udon. I think this team's going to be really, really, really bad, like really bad. They won 5 games last year. Fired Dennis Allen, went with the interim coach for a while. 24th in offense, 19.9. I see the same. And 19th in defense. I really don't see how that's improving at all. In fact, I think, Rattler would be who I would go with. Time will tell. But I see the Saints as being one of the worst teams in the league and in the contention for the top pick for this quote-unquote loaded quarterback class. Your thoughts?
Yep. Probably I'll go 4 or 5 wins just because some of these other teams in the division aren't what you would call juggernauts. So, they're going to pick up a couple wins off them. They'll get, and again, they usually play pretty well at home. Especially, I don't know what their primetime schedule is. They usually play pretty good on primetime, especially in that place. Not much really to say about them.
Blah.
Probably, 4 wins.
That's a blah team if there ever was a blah team, my friend. Yep. That is a blah team. Take an old quarterback from, remember what Chris Berman would say to Tom Jackson, from Louisville. That's what a lot of people call it, Louisville. Around here they call it Louisville. It's Louisville. I'll die on that hill. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, defending champions. In my opinion, still probably the best team in the division. They added Emeka Egbuka from the Ohio State University. Tristan Wirfs. Solid team all the way around. K-Dot and Baker played really good at times. Bucky Irvin has really played well for them. Mike Evans getting a little old, long in the tooth, as they say. Chris Godwin's still there, coming off an injury. But, man, when if they're healthy, and that's a big if, Evans, Godwin, and Egbuka, look out.
Yep.
And Baker's the gamer, right? He's physically tough. Hassan Reddick, they added that malcontent, but he can rush the passer.
Yep.
Still got Vita Vea. I love Kalijah Cansey coming out. We'll see what he does. Draft, not a whole lot outside of that, later picks, but I think they're still a solid football team. Last year they went 10-7, lost in the wild card in the doozy. The Commanders gave them a lot better game than Detroit did. They lost Lean Combe, who we'll talk about here in a little bit, their offensive coordinator. 4th in the league, points per game, which that's saying something. 16th in defense. Bowles does a lot of blitzing and stuff, a lot of blitzing and stuff, which hurts their points per game, I think. Very aggressive head coach on the defensive side. I think they finished 2nd in the division. I think Atlanta knocks them out, but I still think they'll squeak into the playoffs, if nothing else, because Carolina and New Orleans are going to be so bad. So I got them about that 9-10 win range. Again, probably the same mirror season, but will be a tough out in the playoffs. Your thoughts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yeah, they got a good shot to win the division. They really do. They play pretty well at home too.
Yep, good coach. Bowles, good coach.
Great coach. Defensive mind. I didn't like Baker coming out, but to be honest with you, I really like him now.
I like him as a person.
I like him. I like him as a football player.
Yep.
He plays hard.
Oh, big time.
Gets in there. He doesn't care to get his freaking hands dirty. That's for sure. So I like the guy. I'm looking at 9 to 11 wins and pushing for that division.
There's kind of a lot of similarities there, Baker to you. Like, not really that talented,
Nope.
A little bit gritty, and not afraid to get his hands dirty.
That's me.
That's you to a T, my
Below
friend.
average on everything.
Yep, below average on most things in life, but mostly pretty much a nice guy, I guess you could say. I guess I'd give you that. All right, we transition to the. Oh wait, whoa! Hold up, Scotty D. Hold up. Division. Tampa Bay is favored, -110, but it's pretty close. Atlanta +220. I would bet on that one. That's the bet I would take.
That's a good bet.
220.
Yeah,
Panthers
220.
+440.
$20 on that. Yep.
The Saints to win the division, a 4-team division, +1600. That tells you about that. The Nala Saints. Who dat? There's going to be a lot of who dat.
Vegas is real big on the Saints, aren't
They
they?
shouldn't be. That's for damn sure. The Houston Texans, big disappointment last year, and I hope they are again, even though I like C.J. Stroud. He took a big step back. You know, coming out, I had him as one of the best quarterbacks in that class, but I didn't think he'd be anywhere near what he was as a rookie. You know, the game I was at was miserable.
Agreed.
Kind of want to reveal something in that game. I will. I left the game early, frustrated, pissed off, and the Bengals came back and made a game, and I felt pretty small. It's one of the only times I left, but I was pissed, dude. Because that's the worst defensive performance I think I've ever seen by the Bengals. That's saying something.
It was bad.
It was really bad. So Stroud, but what I saw at Ohio State a lot was when teams got in his grill, like that team up north, and made him move on off his platform or stuff, he looked like he did last year. Houston was a really good team, you know, in 23 with him,
Yep.
and they overhaul everything. It's just so hard. I don't understand what they were doing, and now they revamped their offensive line dramatically. I don't understand what they were doing, so we'll see. But Nico Collins, big time. They drafted Jaden Higgins from Iowa State, a receiver. I like him a lot.
Like him a lot.
A lot. Drafted a tackle.
We talked about him.
Got Cam Robinson, Laken Tomlinson. So they tried to beef it up. You know, they got rid of Tunsil, did some moving around. Tank Dell, I don't know if he's going to play or not. There's all kinds of stuff about his injury, whether he's going to be on the field or not. I don't know what to believe there. You know, Dalton Schultz, solid player. Joe Mixon, former Bengal, of course, is there. They added Nick Chubb. I'll get your thoughts on that in a second, which I'm not sure why Nick went there. I thought there were better opportunities for him. Will Anderson, you know, that's the 2-for-1 picks they made when they took Will Anderson, CJ. They added, you know, Daniil Hunter's a big-time pass rusher, so they should be better there. I think he's a good coach as well. Henry Tutu, I liked him. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is a physical safety. Then Jalen Smith in the third round. So Houston last year, you know, big disappointment. Like I said, Stroud's numbers. You know, Mixon ended up running for 1,000 yards. Everybody was dogging the Bengals at first, but 4.1 yards a carry. Did get a ton of touchdowns, but honestly, Chase Brown was as good as him, if not better. You know, Stroud really, you know, an 80. What do you have? I think his rating was 87. I thought it was 88. 219 yards a game after all that. Cray went 10-7, started all the games, so they struggled. It was kind of surprising. Still made the playoffs, eked in on a weak division, 10-7, beat the Chargers and thumped the Chargers, which was surprising. And quite honestly, a couple dumb mistakes there. They had the Chiefs on the ropes a little bit.
They did
Just
first half.
incredibly, and in typical Kansas City Chiefs,
Yeah.
horrible calls,
Yeah.
ridiculous, embarrassing calls. Supposedly some NFL's referees are getting suspended. We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. Bobby Slowick, the offense coordinator, was a big name. The Bengals do not play this team, but this team could be a factor, and they certainly can meet them in the playoffs. I think the Texans kind of bounce back, but I don't think they win the division this year, but I think they will come in as a wild card. Your thoughts on Houston Texans?
I think they could win the division this year. I think they're probably. I think they may take a step back up to where they was in 23. I think Stroud will play better. I think Mixon's still got a little bit of juice left in him. I think the offensive line will play better. I think they'll be better defensively. The problem is the weapons, you know, on the outside, right? If Tank Dell don't play, you know, then 2 becomes 3. 3 becomes 4. Then it's that butterfly effect. It's
Butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Look at you, boy.
Who do you got on the bench that's going to come in and be at 3 or 4 that wouldn't even see the field really if they had those weapons.
Yep.
So staying healthy, offensive line playing better, I think they got a chance to win the division.
How many wins you got them at?
10. 10. Yeah.
So, all right, we move on to the only team the Bengals will play outside of the postseason in the division. Week 2, home opener. We will be there, Stevie boy. I got to travel the next day. Ironically, maybe I'll be on a trip back to Florida with the Jaguars. That'd be cool.
I'm torn on this team. I don't know what to think.
Isn't that what Natalie Imbruglia said? She was torn. I
was
believe
torn.
she did.
She was
torn. Not easy on the eyes. Whoa. Pump the brakes. Back to football. Back to football we go. Brian Thomas Jr., way better than what we thought he was going to be, at least for me. Played really well. Travis Hunter, which I'll get to in a second. Walker Little. They added some linemen there. Change of coach is a big deal. Peterson's gone. The aforementioned, love the word aforementioned, Liam Cohen. former offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, took the job in Jacksonville after a crazy hiring cycle there, which is
Weird.
not surprising for Mr. Khan and the Jaguars. His son, by the way, runs AEW Wrestling, if you are not familiar. Britton Strange, so it comes down to Trevor Lawrence, that development. Travis Etienne's still a good back. Bigsby's solid. On defense, they took some guys over the past few years that I would not have taken that high. Trayvon Walker is one of those guys. Travis Hunter, the top pick. Is he playing offense? Is he playing defense? Is he playing both? Who knows? Darnell Savage, still there. Jordan Lewis. If he's healthy, he's actually a pretty good nickel back. So we'll see. Still some holes on defense. Last year, I think you got to throw that away. I don't know what happened with Peterson. The rose is off the bloom, or whatever that. What is that? The off the bloom, whatever that saying is. 4-13, 26th in the league in points per game with a number 1 overall pick. 27th on defense. Blah blah blah. Press Taylor, Zach's brother, was there for all that mess. Trevor Lawrence went 2-8 as a starting quarterback. Got banged up. Quarterback rating of 85.2. Only 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Brian Thomas Jr., the wowzer, 1,282 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's a gamer. I am going out on a limb. I am picking the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this division in comeback fashion. New coach, Trevor Lawrence, who looks like Avatar, talks like Avatar, wins like Avatar. The Jaguars will not win in week 2, but they will win the division with 10, potentially 11 wins. I'm going to go 10 wins. Eke it out over the Houston, Texas in a horrible division. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is why I'm torn, because
he is torn.
They could go either way here. They could go back to 5 wins, or they could go back up to 11 or 12. You don't know how the team's going to gel. New coach. Is he healthy? Is he going to come back healthy? You're right. Etienne, he's still a good back. Thomas is phenomenal. Like, there's pieces there. That's why last year really surprised the hell out of me. I didn't, and to be honest with you, I like Peterson. It was really odd that turned out the way it did. I thought he was a pretty good coach.
Yep, same.
He lost that locker room, and it just did not work out at all. So hopefully all 3,000 people that come watch Jacksonville football,
bam, he went there. Zing!
Will possibly enjoy this football season, except for week 2, when, guess what? There's probably going to be as many people there sitting on their couches watching them as what there'll be at the football game.
You got that right. Yeah. It's going to be
when they're at Houday Nation.
They're going to be taking on the 1-0 Bengals, who came off of thrashing the Browns in Cleveland. They're moved to 2-0. That's right.
They killed Watson. He didn't even play.
That's right. He's out getting a massage.
They hit him on the sidelines. That's what I'm saying.
He's out with Flacco getting massages and Justin Tucker, whatever his name is. All right. I went out of order. Actually, how many wins you got them Jaguars going? Them Jags.
Like I said,
Duval.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
I care.
I'll say 8.
8.
That's right in the middle.
It is. That is right in the middle. You are a mathematician at heart. We go to the Indianapolis Colts. I went a little out of alphabetical order. Completely accidentally did that. Not on purpose.
It wasn't accidental.
Here's the fly in the ointment in this division here.
He knows A, B, and then gets a little tricky.
Gets a little questionable. Here's the fly in the ointment. The Indianapolis Colts. Michael Pittman, Pierce, Josh Downs, Quentin Nelson's a gamer still. Tyler Warren, I love Tyler Warren. They added Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor's one of the best backs in the league. Falls certain. Former Bengal for a brief stint. Khalil Herbert's on the team. Defensively, Grover Stewart's still there. DeForest Buckner's still there. I love Latu. I could see him making a big jump this year. Linebackers are really good. Zaire Franklin is a beast. They had Charvarius Ward, who Jamar Chase has toasted many, many, many times. The big question is that quarterback for the Colts. Defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, I forgot to mention, will be with the Colts. And they got the offensive coordinator with the best name in the business, Stevie Boy, Jim Bob Cooter. He should be a boxer. That'd be great. In this corner, Jim Bob Cooter. Daniel Jones versus Anthony Richardson. You know it. I was on record. They added Riley Leonard also. Super athletic quarterback from Notre Dame, but not great at throwing the football, which is kind of a requirement at the quarterback position. When they picked Anthony Richardson, before they picked Anthony Richardson, you knew my thoughts. Don't take him. I wouldn't have taken him in the first round. I was on record, said it. They're paying for it. They took him first overall. I think Daniel Jones wins that competition. And listen to me, if he's healthy all year, I think the Colts might be a problem. I don't think he'll be healthy all year, so I don't think they'll be a problem. They go back to Anthony Richardson, you're not going to win with that guy.
I hate agreeing with you. I swear I do.
And the Colts, last year, tricky season, 17th in the league, 22.2 points per game, went 8-9, right? 24th in the league. Just kind of, gutted some things out. Now they got Honorable instead of Gus. I think they breach around that weak division. I think they're 7-8 win teams, but I don't think they make the playoffs. I think they're behind both Jacksonville and Houston, but I could see, again, with the caveat, the asterisk, if Daniel Jones stayed healthy all year, I think he improves them dramatically, but I don't think he will. Your thoughts on the Colts?
Yeah, I got them fighting for the division. So
Could happen.
Yeah, I do. That's why that's why I went in the middle with Jacksonville, because I think those two teams, I won't say cream of the crop because there's not even really a crop.
Not much of a crop there.
Right. But I think they're better. I think what hurts Jacksonville is, their road games are almost as more popular as their road games are almost more popular than their home games.
They're popular in England, though. They go to England. They will go to England.
They are. So as far as home field division, home field advantage, all that kind of stuff, it doesn't. It's like Indy, and I do think Jones wins that. We watched Pittman last year at practice, and again it was early.
Richardson, sorry,
and it was not good.
It was bad. It was exactly
bad.
What I predicted.
It was bad. It was bad.
Dude,
so I got him. I got him probably 10-11 wins.
We move on to friend of the show, Brian Callahan. He's not really a friend of the show. Brandon Allen, friend of the show, not really a friend of the show. We move on to the Tennessee Titans. Fiery Brian Callahan, former Bengals offensive coordinator. They added former Bengal right guard Kevin Zeitler, who I wanted in Cincinnati again. They got a lot of old guys, my friend. Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson, Calvin Ridley, and a couple fourth-round picks. Cam Ward was their quote-unquote prize pick. Cam Ward, quarterback. J.C. Latham, last year's top pick for them, will play right tackle. Defensively, Tony Pollard was kind of, we watched him and Tyjae Spears. I think they lost us some money one game, so maybe I'm still a little burnt by that. Devontae Sweat, the big defensive tackle, nose tackle, big guy. Jeffrey Simmons, as good as it gets. Added Draymond Jones, who's a really nice player. Cody Barton, a little longitude, nice player. Arden Key, Xavier Woods, just okay all over. Last year was a rough year. Will Levis, he's got a lot of things you want in a quarterback, but his decision making is just about as bad as it gets. He panics. So I think, last year they were 3-14, 27th in league points per game, 30th. I think Callahan can save his job if he develops the quarterback and they win 5-6 games, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think he will save his job, but they're going to be a top 10 pick next year. But if Ward develops, that may not matter. I'm hit and miss on him. I like the way he handles himself. I think he's professional at a young age, very athletic, but I don't think he's going to be a top-tier quarterback. So I got him winning 5-6 games, and it's going to be another rough year in Tennessee. Messed up getting rid of Vrabel, not giving him control. Your thoughts on the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah, I'm undecided on Ward. He was such a great college quarterback, but college is what it is. I think he'll play okay. Probably not early on. I think he may come into it. I don't see him winning any more than 3 or 4 games. I think Will Levis's issue is he's one of those guys that, his arm is great, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I think some of his decisions was just like, well, I think I can do this. Mm-hmm. And in the NFL, you just can't. Those windows, they're
Close
so
quick.
tight, and you can't make the decisions that he makes. I don't care how strong your arm is. And I think the Bengals game was a perfect example,
awesome.
right? Just
That's the game where Joe was mad, right?
Yeah, I mean, they was
ugly.
They was ahead big time, and then it's just like it just kind of they went stale or whatever. But yeah, I don't see them winning more than 3 or 4 games. I don't think they'll win 5.
Nope. And so that's it on the Titans. That's it. So upcoming, we're going to talk about upcoming. Then we'll get to the Reds real quick. Then we'll wrap this bad boy up. So upcoming next episode, we will hit the vaunted AFC West. I hate the AFC West. I hate the Chiefs. The NFC West, where big changes on that side over there. That's going to be a strange division next year. The Reds at the break. So Reds are 50-47, 7.5 out of the division. Leading division, the Cubs at 57-39. St. Louis is 5 games over 500. Milwaukee's 16 games over 500. In the wild card, though, which is probably going to be their only way in. They're only 2.5 out, but they got Cardinals, San Francisco ahead of them. 3 wild card teams. You got San Diego, New York, and Milwaukee holding it right now. Going to be tough. You're probably not going to catch Milwaukee. Mets. Going to be a little tough, I think. That division's tough. But then you got the Padres. Padres got to play in a tough division. Giants and certainly the Dodgers. So interesting year. They're hung around. They go on a 4 or 5 game winning streak. Go on a 4 or 5 game losing streak. They're a hard team to predict. I heard Marty Brenham and Tracy Jones on Brenham and Jones, which I listen to religiously. Tracy's like, this team can do it. They can make it. They can make it, Marty said. So we're, 97 games in. What have you seen that makes you go to... And Tracy's like, why do you always ask these questions? Why do you all... Tracy, like, why are you trying to make me think about this? And Marty's right. Like, offensively, if they don't do something offensively, their starting pitching's been great. Their bullpen's weak. But they got to get... They don't have any boppers. Like, they don't have anybody... Their offense kills them in games, right? So... the bullpen, I get it. You can certainly throw some rocks at them, but offensively, man, there's games where the pitching's been way better than what I thought it'd be. Starting pitching, way better. But those games where you're losing 2-1, 3-1, and they just can't get any runs on the board, they're still a fun team to watch, and I think Francona's outstanding. But they got to add a bat, and there's buyers, sellers, pieces on any website you follow now. And most of them think that they will be, but they're not committed to it. But some of the Bengals, let's go do something. Let's make the playoffs. And they got 58 minor leaguers. The rookie coming up pitcher, I think he's going to be good. He's going to get some lumps like he has already. But Matty's not playing like Matty. Ellie's having a hell of a year. Got a ways to go offensively. What are your thoughts on the Cincinnati Redlegs?
They're a 500 baseball team. I kind of. I won't agree with you on that they're still fun to watch. I still struggle with as many strikeouts, as many balls in the strike zone that they look at, as many swings and misses. They still make base running errors, and some of that is just being aggressive. It's gotten better with Terry.
Tito.
Yeah.
Mr. Francona.
Yeah,
you call him
Mr.
Mr. Francona.
And so I don't. They're not a great defensive team. They're just league average. You know what I mean? They'll make a play here, make a play there. Yep. Their outfield's not super great. You know what I mean? It's just they just don't excite me like some of the teams in the past did. It's baseball has changed so much, and with the rule changes and with how I don't like waiting for the 3-run homer. I don't like it. I like the small ball. I like moving guys over.
Fundamental.
Put the ball in play.
See the ball, eat the ball.
Hit
them with their hand.
I don't mind the play clock, the pitch clock. That's fine. But everything else that they've added, I don't like.
Ghost runners, ridiculous.
Ghost runners, the 3-batter minimum, that's ridiculous. I can't stand that. So some of them things I
agree with you.
Really pushed me away, from America's pastime. But I think they're just a 500 baseball team. I don't think they're going to be much better. You said it: win 5, lose 5, win 3. I don't know. It's aggravating. But every day, I look at the box score. Every day, I look to see what the score was. I'll watch it here, watch it there.
Yep.
If I'm out drinking a beer by the pool, So
I like Brantley.
Yeah. So they probably won't win no more than 84, 87 games.
Yep, I bet
which may keep them in it.
Yep, I bet on to win that much, so I will win some money. But post a video of Jeff Brantley too being introduced. He's with the Giants at the time. It was pretty cool. But I like Brantley. I don't like the play-by-play guy on TV. radio throw. He's all right, but I think Brantley's great. I miss the days like you hear Marty and Jeff, right? And Marty and Joe certainly, but Marty and Cowboy, that was awesome. I haven't tuned in for that, but there's not too many of those guys around anymore.
Nope.
But I do want to bring up something controversial. So Marty said, "You always try to get me fired on this show." Talking to Tracy. Tracy's laughing. He said, "What was your favorite spring training destination?" They went there. I guess Plant City, man. I hated that place. They agree, whatever. And he said, "There wasn't one good-looking woman in Plant." No. We're not going. Well, except at Blockbuster, there was one. No, we're not going there today. And like last year, Marty fell in that trap a few times. It was, about the women in Pittsburgh. Tracy dated a woman. She had a little bit of a mustache because it's Pittsburgh. So good. So Tracy still believes in him. I think Marty kind of does, but the thing is, you're just wasting. Abbott's been outstanding, right?
Outstanding.
He's tough, man. And to Marty's point on that, I think it was Marty that said it. Or Tracy started. Marty agreed and commented on you don't have to throw 99. No. These guys come in there and don't know where the ball is going. Look what he does, right? He pinpoints it. If you know how to pitch, you can still pitch, right? It's not flamethrower. And those flamethrowers are the ones that are always hurt and everything else. And they don't know where the ball's going.
Bronson won, what was it? He was double-digit wins, I don't remember how many years.
Yep.
The guy threw 87 miles an hour.
What if Hunter Green,
you know what I mean?
I'm not saying this is the reason. What if Hunter toned it down a little bit? He's not trying to throw that hard all the time.
Yeah.
Is he? He's always hurt, right?
Always
hurt. And I like Hunter Green. Don't get me wrong. And I would have signed him. I would have done everything they did. I'm not knocking him. But I wish, he's there all the time. If he's not throwing that hard, it's still better, right? Yeah. So I honestly think they'll make a move or two.
I don't think it'll be Blockbuster, though. They'll make a move or two, but they need an outfield bat, plain and simple.
The problem in baseball is, unlike the NFL, when you get to that trade deadline, those bigger teams will trade some of their best prospects in a second to win, right? In the NFL, you're not going to see that. You'll see one or two Smallsy trade.
Yeah.
But in baseball, there'll be I guarantee that it's competitive. There's a lot of tight races.
Well, you got so many divisions, right?
There's going to be, and you got the minor leagues.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. In the minor leagues, you got team within team within team. And my God, you got single A's. It's crazy. So they got such a large variety of players that can say, well, we got another draft coming up. We can draft some of these single A, 2A guys, and
prospects are you know it from following it. And then, if you buy baseball cards back in the day, you may think somebody like Greg Jeffries, you may think he's it. You could have got a bounty for him. You don't do it because you think he's going to be whatever. You can get burnt the opposite way, too. There's teams being built by trading for these prospects, right? So, but I think if you're the Reds, they've kicked the can down the road so many times. Give up some prospect. Go get some people that can help you. Not for a one-year rental. I don't think you do that. But guys that, maybe got 2 years left on the contract or something.
Which are hard to get.
It's hard, but they'll do it. Prospects win, right? Those minor league prospects are gold to them, like draft picks in the NFL.
Yeah.
So hopefully they make a move. So that's it for this episode of All My Bengals Training Camp Edition. We'll be back, as I said, with the West. Send us out, Stevie Boy.
Also, traffic, stay to the right. Thank you.